obviously just hold them up separately.
They're alternating between the torches and the American flag?
Or they hold the torch like above it, so it's like lighting it up. The big American flag.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, and not lighting it up like that, just like illuminating it.
Illuminating.
Of course.
Whoa.
Yeah, of course. So speaking of America, America's favorite tag team was not on NXT this past week.
No, they weren't.
What was the premier matchup on NXT?
The premier matchup? Wasn't it the Vaudevillains against the Hype Bros?
That's exactly right, starting off the night. And it was the Vaudevillains getting the victory. It seems like they're being built up for even more heelish antics from now on?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. They're just all about being men. They're not about selling t-shirts or any of that anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So that being the case, I think you and I agree that American Alpha are the premier tag team of NXT right now. Where does that leave Vaudevillains?
I mean, I could see Vaudevillains taking their titles back in maybe a distant future, but I feel like American Alpha, either American Alpha or Enzo and Cass are going to take the tag titles, and then, the other person is going to take the tag titles from them after. That's how I think that's kind of going to go. But I could see them maybe coming in after.
Yeah, after, we're talking a couple of months down the road.
Yeah,
I think a slow build is in their best interest, but between you and me, Biggie, I think Vaudevillains, they have one last chance at this. If they don't execute the build right this time, people won't be able to take them seriously again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but very true.
Talking about the Vaudevillains, could they be completely repackaged down the road, or are they kind of stuck being exactly like this for their entire careers?
I'm trying to think of ways that they could be repackaged, but I mean, I don't really see how you could do that.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas about how you would possibly repackage the Vaudevillains?
Well, my first instinct, honestly, is to go the route of Mizdow, Damien Sandow, where Sandow would just constantly be shifting between different gimmicks that were just always, every night would be something different. So they could be that type of villain. So one night they could be this movie's villain, another night they could be vampires. They could be very... I mean, it's very silly, but that's my first reaction. If they want to be serious about it, they could be repackaged, but when they do it, they would have to become serious. If they're going to become Vaudevillains again, this time when they do it, they would have to become serious heels, kind of like Dash and Dawson. They're serious heels, right? And I think they're capable of it. But right now, at this point in their career, yeah, like we talked about, for the next couple of months, they should just do what they're doing and keep trying to be manly.
Just build heat.
Yep.
Just build all that heat.
Yep. And talking about building heat, what was the main event from NXT this past week?
It was Apollo Crews against Finn Balor.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's any heat to be had because Finn pretty thoroughly proved that he belongs as the NXT champion.
With a double stomp to the back of the head.
Yeah, both men did every single move they both had in each other's rosters. And the result was Finn being the winner. So does that mean that Apollo's chances of being NXT champion against Finn anytime soon have been just squashed? Or what does this mean? What's your reaction?
Well, I mean, I guess that depends on your definition of anytime soon because, I mean, I guess now he's technically not in the #1 contender spot anyway, so they have to figure out that, and then they'll get their title shot, and depending on whether or not Finn Balor drops the belt, unless Apollo Crews decides to interfere, although I don't see that happening because he's babyface.
Yep, I think we're of one mind on that as well. Anything else you want to talk about from NXT?
Wasn't there... What was the women's match? Was that when they had the tag match?
It was Carmella, and she was facing Emma.
Oh, right.
And they had a really good match. And I think this was a case of Emma demonstrating just how far she's come, And the fact that she right now is ready to become the preeminent star woman of NXT, in my honest personal opinion. And in this match against Carmella, it showed that Carmella, despite the fact that she is very entertaining and she's come a long way, she still is not ready to be, in my honest personal opinion, to be champion. Like, do you think she's going to go over in her title match against Bayley?
I really don't see it happening.
I don't either.
Unless they bring Bayley to the main roster.
Yes, now that's a whole different story. Yeah, maybe.
But I don't think they're going to do that yet because of the children that she brings to NXT.
That's an excellent point. Yeah.
She's the John Cena.
Yeah, you're pretty much exactly right about that. Who do you think is Lucha Underground's John Cena?
Lucha Underground's John Cena? Prince Puma?
Yes, you're right. I think he's the guy that when kids see him, they are going to want to be like him. I think you're exactly right. Prince Puma is definitely Lucha Underground's Prince Puma.
I am still fairly new to Lucha Underground though, so maybe there's someone I don't know about that could possibly be a better answer.
Rey Mysterio!
Yeah! Booyaka!
So who do you think Rey Mysterio's first opponent in Lucha Underground is going to be?
I have no idea.
Who would you pair him against? Being someone that you're new to Lucha, what's your first reaction?
I feel like he could pretty much go against any of them and have a decent match.
That's a fair assessment. Lucha Underground's crew is really strong.
Yeah.
You like that match with the Mac?
Yeah, I loved it. Like, that was the first time I ever saw the Mac, but I loved it.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't expect him to do that kind of stuff, but he takes really stiff bumps and he goes 100%.
Yeah, like, I would definitely want to see more matches with him.
You know that he actually had a development deal with WWE, but they pulled the plug on it for some reason.
I wonder why.
Who knows? Have I ever told you about Taya Valkyrie from AAA?
No.
She is probably the top woman talent of Mexico. Mm-hmm. And you know where she's from?
Where?
Our fair city.
Oh?
Yeah, and a little tiny spoiler alert, we're going to be seeing her on Lucha Underground very soon.
Oh my god.
Yep. And so she has been Triple A, which is Mexico's top promotions champion for some time now.
Wow.
Yeah, so her and Lucha Underground, it's going to add a lot of legitimacy to the brand.
Yeah.
And now that they've been signed for an upcoming season, I think we only have the Gift of the Gods, the Trios title, and the Lucha Underground title. Adding a women's division only makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And just final thoughts on Lucha Underground. This coming week on the program, who do you think Pentagon is going to be in action against?
Probably Prince Puma?
Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, you know, in other wrestling shows that you would say that they want to build that to like a pay-per-view or something, but Lucha Underground's crazy. They had a title match to open up the season. Why not?
Yeah,
and someone dropped the title.
That was nuts.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that. Yeah, well, you know what? It might be Pentagon against Cuerno.
Oh yeah, it could be.
That's my guess.
It's a good guess.
Neville is really, really good at taking people's finishers.
Yeah, he is. It's because he's good at the flip. Like, I remember that one time where Kevin Owens put the beat down on him, and he was hobbling out of the ring, and then Kevin Owens just came back and clotheslined him, and he, like, did a double
flip. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
His selling is just as good as Seth's.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he does the flips and the way he does the DDT stand on his neck. The DDT stand on the neck move, only a pro wrestler can do that. Like an ordinary person could never. Like when they say kids don't try this at home, that's the first move that Vince doesn't want you to try.
A huge DDT.
Yeah, exactly, the huge DDT. Because you will hugely break your neck.
Dolph Ziggler gave Kevin Owens a huge DDT on Raw, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Like, Kevin Owens
They give each other huge DDTs.
He was, like, fully standing, and he just DDT'd him.
They give each other huge DDTs and huge super kicks every match.
Yeah, you're right.
At both of them. Multiple times. And,
their matches are really good, though. I'm pretty happy with this feud.
Well, good, because we're going to be seeing a lot more of their matches.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shortage of them in sight. I really liked like you're talking about seeing all these matches. We saw Kevin and Dolph once again on Raw this past week. And surprisingly enough, Dolph got the win. We were really surprised. Mm-hmm. Dirty pin for Dolph. Feet on the ropes. He gets Kev for the 1, 2, 3, and of course Kevin is furious. But this builds more heat for their feud.
It definitely does. Speaking of questionable finishers, though.
Oh, of course. You want to get right into that?
Yeah.
Worst finish of the week?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So
Bailey's new finishing move.
yeah, the diving hug.
Yeah.
That
dive hug.
The dive hug. A lot of love. Your love meter has to be full to do the dive hug. This past week on Raw, it was the Divas champion Charlotte in a match against Alicia Fox. It was a good match. They went almost 10 minutes. I really enjoyed the match. Like you and I have talked about before, they're two women who are evenly matched in size and speed and in athletic ability. So they're able to complement each other well in the ring. And in this full-length match, once again, for some reason, we abruptly went to a finish where all of a sudden Charlotte went for a diving hug. Like this, and
just one step, one little step.
Oh yeah, I'll demonstrate. So it's
Yeah.
like, so this is, oh, that's where you're back now. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, she wasn't that far away. No, come on, no, she wasn't that, right there, right there, perfect. So it was just like, all right, we're going to the finish. Diving hug.
Oh.
Yes. You know, we have criticized Roman Reigns' spears before in the past. But at least he gets a run-up every time. I mean, there's no dispute that he's actually got some momentum behind it. I mean, Charlotte with the dive hug? You can't possibly make me believe she would hurt a person with that. Not a well-trained athlete like Foxy. And you just see Foxy taking that pin, or sorry, not the pin, taking that figure 8. She was kind of like, oh, here we go, finish. There was no like, oh no, I'm about to take a finish.
I give up.
Yeah. In our weekly rant to Vince, Vince just tighten up the finish on the women's match, please. Talking about a good finish, though, Tamina.
Oh yeah.
Sending Becky to Super Kick City.
Brutal super kick.
Tamina, looking strong. I'm really glad she got a win here. And Sasha on commentary was really good.
I gotta say, it was just a minor thing, but I really liked how she like perfectly ripped the Team Bad shirt in half.
At the end?
Symbolic.
Yeah. I didn't even get it. I thought she was just doing it because she's a wild Polynesian, right?
Yeah, I mean, that works too.
But the symbolism. Oh.
Yeah, because I was wondering why she's still wearing the shirt, and I was like, oh, well, I guess her and Naomi could still be, they're still beautiful and dangerous.
They are.
So.
But they don't want to be associated with anything that Sasha Banks is ever associated with, I guess. And this is for the best. Well, it's for the best for Naomi and Tamina. I don't know if it's necessarily for the best for Sasha. Her being portrayed now as kind of like a confused, somewhat babyface. I mean, I think you and I can agree that Sasha's, a game turn is imminent, right?
Yeah, I see that.
She's gonna play the role of Paige, where she's just constantly gonna be turning everyone, every chance she gets.
With the backstab. Quite literally.
Yeah, oh yeah, she chose the name appropriately. Another superstar that uses a backstabber, Alberto, in action this past week on Raw against the newly reformed Lucha Dragons, who were back together just in time to lose in spectacular fashion to League of Nations, looking really strong and putting the beat down on the United States champion and the faceless one.
Mm-hmm. It seems like Kalisto's kayfabe strength is significantly lowered with Sin Cara back.
Yeah, because
unfortunately.
He has to cover for the botches.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I'm just kidding, Sin Cara, I love you. In all seriousness, this was a good opportunity to make League of Nations look strong, because I think you and I can agree that at times they are kind of cast as, pardon my language, just complete chicken shit heels.
Pretty much.
That lack credibility. Even Rusev sometimes lacks credibility. He's like one of the most credible looking people you've ever seen.
I feel like Rusev lost a little bit of credibility with me after the whole feud. I just can't, well, like, not his abilities or anything, but it's a little hard to take him seriously now with the whole I can't get it out of my head.
No, I haven't even thought about that. I really haven't. In all honesty, is anybody at home thinking about that? That Ruru stuff is in the rear view. Like beyond the rear view. I hadn't thought about it. Rusev, as we see him today, is finally being portrayed in a credible and respectable way.
You're right.
Even with the so-called presumed Lana heat, he's hanging in there, doing Rusev things. That Ruru nonsense is an ancient history. That's just another one of the silly things that they did in 2015, including Mex America.
Oh, Jesus. Mex America.
The very short-lived Team PCB, because Paige can't be in a team with anybody.
Yeah. The even shorter-lived submission sorority.
Yes, they were together for like 2 episodes. Barely. That was like the shortest lived stable ever. They didn't even have time to have any merch made up.
No. Because just immediately.
Yep. In retrospect, Adam Rose, and the Rosebuds, and the Bunny was one of the stupidest things WWE ever did.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
See, there's lots of stupid things, and this is 2015 alone I'm talking about. I could go on, but let's continue talking about this past week. I mean, yeah, about WWE. Let's quickly go over the opening of the show. I thought the opening of the show was a highly refined, like very, very pared down opening compared to what we normally see.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, I don't know, I kind of felt like most of Raw was kind of like that. There was very short matches for the most part. It was mostly Brock Lesnar killing Dean Ambrose.
Yes, mostly. They need to send a message that Brock is credible and Dean can take a beating.
Yeah. I loved when Dean was like waving Brock back to him as he was lying there on the mat.
Yeah, doesn't care about his personal safety. He's willing to take those Brock Lesnar bumps, no questions asked.
What?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we won't be seeing Brock on SmackDown, unfortunately.
No. Not enough money.
No.
Brock's gotta make $1 million moves.
Yeah, he's got barbecues to buy.
Where's Darren Young?
Yeah, where's Darren Young? Hashtag where's Darren Young?
Save Titus.
Yeah, Titus.
Save him.
Yeah, Titus got beat by Adam Rose in like under 5 minutes this past week. He needs his buddy D Young to help him, honestly.
I know.
He's getting victimized by the social outcasts.
He can only make $500,000 moves now.
Yeah, he can only make $250,000 moves now. $250,000 moves.
And that doesn't work in a song. That
$250,000. Actually, it kind of does. making moves, $250,000. It's all right, but not $500,000 moves.
It doesn't make me want to dance, though.
No, and I don't want to take a 75% pay cut just to make a reasonable song lyric.
No,
that's just stupid. We just do stupid stuff on the show.
No.
Speaking of things we want to say no about, instant frowns. We thought the sadness was exemplified in our old buddy Smart Mark's Kingdom Hearts mashup with Daniel Bryan from a few months ago, but no, there's many more tears to be had. And last night on Raw, the bearded one finally said goodbye to the world of wrestling.
No.
But you know what? Let's be positive about this. It wasn't like Brie had to come out and say, "I'm sorry, WWE fans, Daniel's dead." You know?
Yeah,
He got to do it on his own terms. His family was there. He got to say thank you. He got to talk about all the things that he was grateful for. He got to say thank you to Kane and William Regal and Connor the Crusher for really impacting him. And they had a really good moment. And they went like about 13 minutes.
Yeah, they did.
Now, not at all to trivialize Daniel Bryan's really important moment in Raw, which was, once in a lifetime and will be unforgettable and, will stand the test of time for Daniel. Being that it is his final moment, I think he'll be happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But barring that, being that there was about 13 minutes at the end of the show, that's time that could have been used for a match of some kind. So think about it this way. If they structured Raw like this, in the weeks going forward, if they do that, they're going to leave time for a fairly big television match at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That a match like AJ didn't have. You could be having that against Neville.
You could.
Maybe we'll see that next week on Raw.
Probably.
Probably, really? Is Vince watching the show? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. It could happen. You never know. It does.
No, I'm gonna stop right there. He does watch the show. I do know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Totally.
Please continue.
But it does seem like AJ's kind of just been working his way through the roster, and Neville's not really in that part of a major feud or anything.
No, we haven't seen.
And they would have a great match, so
they would.
I don't see why not.
The last time we saw him anywhere near the camera was in the Royal Rumble ring, and aside from that, we haven't seen him in a legitimate match in quite some time.
Mm-mm.
The last time we saw him in a match was as a part of the MLK squad.
Oh yeah.
The Botchamania Big Time squad.
Yeah.
The Primetime Bot squad.
Oh, Tyler Breeze. Rest in peace.
There's another guy we haven't seen on TV.
Wait, didn't we see him though?
When?
No, never mind. I thought we did. I can't remember the last time he was on TV.
Rapid fire time. Okay, so me and the big guy are gonna break down our picks for WrestleMania, our 10 matches. Starting matches 1 through 10. Are you ready, big guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so my match number 1, first match of the evening, Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler. No, I'm serious. I only mean to laugh just because Tyler Breeze isn't on television right now, but I think him and the Zig Man could go and have themselves a really good match. How about you?
But then, just a question to follow up on that. Where does that leave KO? Or is that
We'll get to that.
for a later
We'll get to
one?
that. We'll get to
Alright. I mean, maybe Stardust and Titus can finally settle their differences.
In a WrestleMania match? Who goes over?
Maybe D Young comes back, so Titus comes over or gets over.
It's a pretty good idea.
I mean, it's not much, but it's something.
Okay. What about match number 2? You go first this time.
Match number 2. Well, I mean, there's got to be. I wonder who is going to go for the Intercontinental title, or are they going to have a match for that at WrestleMania?
It all depends on what happens at Fastlane. So what do you think?
Oh, Fastlane. I mean, that main event though, I feel like it's either going to be Roman or Brock. So I feel like there probably is going to be an Intercontinental title match. And who knows, maybe KO will come back for that.
Kevin versus Dean right now is what you're saying?
I mean, they could get more great matches out of that, but I can also see them wanting to do something different. I feel like it'd make sense to, I don't know, do something different, go with someone else.
Okay, well, me personally, I think it's going to be a tag team match. I think New Day is going to be facing off against the Usos and their cousin, The Rock, in a premier match. It's going to get the crowd really, really into it, seeing The Rock in match number 2.
It's The Rock.
Yep, it's not going to be a tag title match, but the Usos and The Rock are going to go over, and the fans are going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Which takes us to match number 3. It's going to be a Divas match. It's going to be, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be a triple threat match. It should be
Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte.
Yeah, exactly. Why shouldn't it be?
I have no idea. That sounds perfect.
So are you saying that that's going to be your match number 3 as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much, I mean, I don't see it going any other way.
Okay.
Unless they just end up taking Becky Lynch out of the picture, which is also possible if they just want to build up a huge feud just between Sasha and Charlotte. But who knows?
What about match number 4 then?
Match number 4? How many matches are there?
10.
10?
And I think now that I think about it, since we have some time until WrestleMania, let's do matches 1 through 5 tonight, and we'll do the next 5 next week.
All right. So match 4.
So that means you got to save some title matches for the second half of the show.
Okay. Well. Maybe you can have the Lucha Dragons against. I'm trying to think. Maybe Lucha Dragons against the Dudleys or the Usos, maybe.
But they already had. Oh yeah, your card is different than mine. Okay, yeah. Sounds good. Usos versus Dudleys. That sounds good. The heel Dudleys. In a tables match. Now I'm influencing your card. You tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay, cool. Looked. That sounds good. I can't argue with that. Me for match number 4. I think we gotta save the Intercontinental title for the second half of the show. But for match number 4, it's gonna be the second to last match of the first half of the program. So it's going to be some sort of gimmick match. It's going to be like just like the big guy said here, he wanted a tables match with the Usos and the Dudleys. Me personally, I think it should be a street fight. And it'll be a street fight featuring it's got to be people from Texas. Oh, of course! It's how stupid of me. The Dead Man, The Undertaker. He's going to be in a Texas street fight against Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin's going to be making his WWE debut. And you know, Baron Corbin's a big guy, a big tough guy, and he's ready to fight.
He's going to ride a motorcycle in.
They both are.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But then Baron Corbin's going to get locked in a coffin, and the coffin's going to get set on fire at the end.
Yeah. Then he's going to rest in peace.
Yeah. Which takes us to match number 5 on the night. And take us away.
Match number 5.
I'm telling you right now, for me, it's going to be the United States title.
Oh yes, United States title.
That's me though.
Well, I guess that all depends on what happens at Fastlane. And do you think Kalisto's gonna keep the title at Fastlane?
Yes.
Yeah. I was kind of feeling that way too, but I wasn't too sure.
I think he will, to tell you the honest truth.
Well, in that case, I mean, who knows when John Cena will be back? Maybe John Cena will have a title shot.
You know, I think it's gonna have that title shot.
What?
Do you know who I think it's gonna have that title shot? The phenomenal AJ Styles. Is Kalisto gonna take a Styles clash? Yes.
You gonna take the calf crusher?
No, not in that match anyway.